So now that we've talked about the birth of Earth, and we're in Earth, let's talk about the spheres of Earth, which should be titled right here. Yes? Spheres of Earth. What are they? Good job. The atmosphere is a layer of Earth that makes up air. So think of A for atmosphere, A for air. What's another layer of Earth or another sphere? Hydrosphere. You guys are so smart. The hydrosphere is all parts of Earth that make up water. Biosphere. What does the word bio mean? Life. So any layer of Earth that supports life is considered the biosphere. And what is, good job, Geo, think of the study of rocks or land, right? Geosphere makes up the last layer of Earth, which is land. So we've got A for atmosphere, hydro means water, and geo means rocks, and then any life on Earth would be the biosphere. Let's learn about the hydrosphere. What's the hydrosphere? Water on Earth. Any water on Earth is called the hydrosphere in any state, gas, liquid, solid. There's a big chunk of Earth that's solid, and that's why it became its own name, which is the cryosphere, which is frozen water on Earth. How much of Earth is water? 70% about. And how much are you? 70. Have you ever thought of that? That perfect balance? There's a reason. So we're going to break up this hydrosphere into parts. And I'm going to do it with pie charts, and then I'm going to give you like a bar graph. So one visual might work out better for you. This first pie chart is all water on Earth. A big chunk of water on Earth is what kind of water? Salt or marine or oceans. You can name it whatever you want, but try to remember the name marine because that's the one you tend to forget. Marine biology is the study of oceans, okay, or salt water. So my other percent, which should be 3, thanks to Christian in my last class, notice all my number problems, right? And that's not an exact number. It's an approximation. It could say 98 and 2. It could say 96 and 4. My 3% is fresh, which is the other part, okay? So now we're going to take this little white bubble here, and we're going to come here, and this pie chart is about fresh water. So we could also come here and say fresh, and look at the fresh water on Earth, okay? 99% of our fresh water, believe it or not, is very, very hard to attain. They have put it in books as unusable. I wouldn't call it unusable. I would say it's so hard to get to and so expensive to get to, and some is impossible to get to, that they made it its own category. This little pie chart, which is less than 1%, is water we can actually access and use. So of all the 70% of water on Earth, only 2 or 3% is fresh. And out of that little teeny weeny bit of fresh, less than 1% is something we can easily have. So think about that when you think of water as a renewable resource. Did I pause? So we're looking at this again. Right here, we're looking at this, but I'm going to give you a breakdown of the non and a breakdown of this by category, okay? So this is fresh water again, same pie chart, except I'm dividing it into 3 parts because that big 90-something% that's not easily attainable would be all of this green and red, and this little light blue would be the attainable one, okay? So let's start with, where is the majority of water on Earth? No, I mean fresh water. Fresh water. Where is the majority of water on Earth that's fresh? Icebergs. They're trapped. We call this trapped water. Water that's trapped in glaciers. So 70% of that 2% of Earth that's fresh water is trapped in glaciers. The other 34 is what you guys were saying, which is groundwater. So groundwater we can access. It's expensive. It's time consuming. It's harder to tap into. It's not what we generally want to do to get our water, but we can. This, on the other hand, we really can't. We can melt glaciers and try to get water. Not probably the smartest thing to do, because glaciers are part of climate control, and we don't want to start affecting that. Our 1%, which is easily accessible, and it's the water that we use, or Pembroke Pines Water Plant uses, and Plantation Water Plant uses, and all the way from the Keys to middle of South Florida uses, is what? Lakes. Fresh water, surface water, is easily attainable water. So lakes, ponds, springs, all of these are attainable water, or 1% of our, less than 1% of. This is another way to look at it. Here's back to the first pie chart. 97%, or in this case it says 96.5, is oceans, marine, saltwater, only 2.5% fresh. We're going to take this little top layer and we're going to look at it in 3 parts. A big chunk of fresh water is trapped in glaciers. Another is trapped underground in what we call aquifers, which are like underground rivers. And then the top layer is attainable water. This attainable water, if you want to look at it, can be broken down into permafrost lakes. I'm just going to go like this. And you don't have to know this yet, because we're going to get there. Okay?